Hey guys, welcome back. This is episode 6, sourcing items to sell on eBay for beginners. So I've already covered subjects like how to sign up for eBay, choosing your platform, things like that, and I've shared some experiences I had at flea markets. So this is about how to source your items that you are going to sell on eBay. The first is free stuff. You want to start out as cheap as possible. So anything you can get for free will give you great margins and the best profit. So free things you might not think about, but think of all the stuff that you already own. Let's say you have an old hobby that you don't pursue anymore. Any of the items for that hobby, the equipment or the tools or the actual items, those can sell easily on eBay. If you inherited anything, let's say, a relative gave you stuff because they just don't want it anymore. They're trying to declutter. They're trying to get rid of stuff. They don't want to just throw it away. And they heard that you're selling on eBay and they're like, here, take this. People do that to me all the time. And you can sell it that way. Or unfortunately, if somebody passes away and you inherit something, that's a way to source stuff that you don't want to keep. Now, obviously, you want to keep some of it that has sentimental value. But if it doesn't, that's an item that could be sold. Another is collections that you already have. I have a lot of, not a lot, but I have toys and items from my childhood, which is way back in the 70s. Things from Hot Wheels, even like a Trapper Keeper. Those kind of things that are nostalgic, they're now vintage. So if you own stuff like that, that you held on for years, you can sell those things easily. If they're small enough and light enough, you're going to make great profit and great margin on those things. So think about those things that you have that you've held on for all these years, and you're really not sure what to do with it. Think about selling that. So free is always best. There's a great channel on YouTube. It's linked below. His name is Taco Stacks. He's the only one I don't know his real name, but he is proud of the fact that he's a garbage picker. Lives in Pennsylvania, drives around on garbage days, has it all mapped out. And for some reason, where he lives, people throw away perfectly good items. DVD movies, tools, lamps, you name it. It just goes right out in the trash. And he picks this stuff and he sells it at flea markets. If it's light enough, he'll sell it on eBay. If it's something he needs, he keeps it. If he knows people that need this stuff, he gives it away. That's his full-time job, really, garbage picking. He has a Sprinter van and a house, and he does very well doing this. So free is always best, of course. The next category is close to free. So this would be the obvious stuff: garage sales, yard sales, church rummage sales. These are areas where people just want the items gone. Really, they have no value. Instead of just throwing it in the trash, they want to sell it and make some money. So if it's a church rummage sale, maybe they're raising money for a mission trip or to fund a project. People donate items for free to the church and then they sell it. Garage sales, people want to declutter. They want to get rid of all the junk in their house. They want to raise a little bit of money. They don't want to see it thrown away. They want to see it used. And that's a great place because the prices are extremely low, especially if you go at the end of the garage sale, like the last few hours. You can negotiate really good prices, or they might even give you stuff. I've been to garage sales where people have boxes of stuff and they just give it to you and say, here, you can just have this for free, or you can have all of this on this table for, give me $3 for everything. So great deals. Yard sales, pretty much the same thing. People just want the stuff gone, so there's really no attachment there. They're not looking to make money. If they make money, it's an extra bonus. So the next one is thrift stores. Thrift stores is a great place to get good deals on items both new and used. So thrift stores will have brand new items still in the package. I sell a lot of that on eBay. That sells the best if it's new, unopened, sealed in the package. If it's opened, that's fine. You just have to sell it as used. But if you buy an item, let's say for example, like an alarm clock radio, and it comes in the box. If it's the original box with the original owner's manual, that helps a lot. It'll sell much quicker. If it's opened and it appears like it's not sealed, just list it as nearly new or used. Be very honest in your description. But those are items. Also, the obvious one is clothing. That's super popular. I personally got started in clothing when I got back into eBay August of 2018. I can get really good deals where I live in West Michigan. People do buy used clothing and new clothing on eBay and other sites. I think the problem is right now the market is completely saturated. Everybody has got the same idea at the same time. So I'm getting out of clothing right now. I'm just going to sell what I have and be done with it. I can get really good deals like denim jackets for $8 and they sell for $40 or $50 on eBay. That's fine, but they're called what's a long tail item, which is an item that takes a really long time to sell. So you might get a deal on, say, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Abercrombie and Fitch, I think, like a sweater. Regular retail could be $100. You can get it used for $5 and sell it for $50, and that's true, but it could take a year to sell. And I just don't have that much time to wait. I'm to the point where I want to buy something and flip it within 30 to 60 days. I don't want to wait a year to sell something. So clothing's not terrible, but it's just not my thing anymore, and I'm getting out of it. So thrift stores are also good for glassware, coffee mugs, collectibles, vintage, sometimes even antiques. They have lots of books. I wouldn't really get into children's toys or board games or puzzles unless they're brand new sealed. Definitely not a puzzle that's been opened. Can you imagine a 5,000 piece puzzle? You would have to literally go through and count every single piece so you can guarantee it's complete. So used puzzles are toxic. I would not touch that. Board games, nobody's really going to buy a used board game because you can get it new almost the same price. But if there is like a limited edition Monopoly game that's still sealed, say like a Monopoly game based on the TV show Friends, or Monopoly game based on World War II, or whatever the theme is. Monopoly has come out with lots of themes, and they are limited edition, and once they're gone, they're gone. So if you can find a sealed new one at a reasonable price, it might be worth getting. So the next area is flea markets. Flea markets are okay, but they're usually priced much higher than like a thrift store or garage sale, because people usually sell at a flea market because they're doing it for their living. They have to make money. So it could be a business selling at a flea market, or it could be a person that they earn their living selling at flea markets all over the place. And they get their stuff, you guessed it, from garage sales and thrift stores, closeouts, things like that, and then they sell it at a flea market at a markup, and that's basic capitalism. That's how it works. So you're not always going to get a good deal at a flea market. Sometimes you will. I have a theory that you should go towards the end. So if a flea market is 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., I'll get there like at 10 a.m., 11, walk around for a few hours, and the sellers, even if it's open till 3 p.m., the vendors or sellers at the flea market, they're going to start packing up around 1 p.m., 1:30, because it takes time to pack all that stuff up. So if you're there around noon, 12:30, that's when you're going to start getting the deals, where they're going to say everything on this table is $1, take your pick, everything is 50% off, then you get your deals. Now, of course, if there's an awesome item that's a vintage antique, it's going to get snatched up right away at the beginning at 8 a.m., where the early birds will be waiting in line, and then they go through there and they get all of the super rare stuff, expensive stuff. I don't tend to do that. I don't like to get up that early. I like to show up late and get all the good deals, so that's just me. But you're not going to get that good of a price, so it takes a little bit of experience. If you're going to do flea markets, you have to be careful. Some things are priced close to retail, so you're not going to make any money if you try to resell it. There's also reproductions.
How about a skunk Hitler?
Some people call them repops. Cast iron toys and banks are reproduced by the millions, and they do look kind of old, so you have to be careful. This picture right there, that's in my other video, I think episode 3. I only paid $17 for it, so I'm pretty sure it's genuine from the 1930-ish era. Even if it's not genuine, I don't care. I didn't pay that much, and it's just a great decoration. It's a keeper that I'm going to keep. Now, if they wanted $40 or $80 and the tag said, vintage movie poster, it'd make my eyebrow go up and say, is it really? So I'm not going to pay up unless I really know what I'm getting. So flea markets are fun, too. Great way to people watch. If you like carnival food, it gets you out of the house and you get sun and exercise, so that can be fun. The other category is called retail arbitrage, and that's just a fancy word for buying items at a retail store or location and selling them for more. And that's your typical clearance items or closeout items or sale items. Now this is even more difficult and requires more experience. I did this a little bit, and I still have items on my eBay store right now. So what this looks like is you go to a big store, say like a big box hardware store like a Lowe's or a Home Depot, or even a pharmacy like Walgreens, Rite Aid, Costco, and they do mark stuff down just to get rid of it. It's 50% off, 40% off. You're not really going to make any money that's worthwhile unless you can get something that's 90% off. And I know people have different opinions on this. If you're at 75%, and I've done this and been burned before, you think about it, you buy a cell phone case that's 75% off and you can get it for $4. So its regular retail is maybe $12. You put it on eBay for 10, somebody offers you 8, they pay for the shipping, first class probably be like $2. By the time you figure your packaging materials and your time and driving it to the post office, the time it takes to list it, take photographs, describe it, you're talking of a net profit of a couple bucks. So 75% to me is just not worth it. If you can get clearance items at 90% off, then you're talking a little bit more profit and it is worth your time. Walmart also, and Target, and Marshalls, and TJ Maxx, a lot of these retailers will have clearance sales, but I really wouldn't bother unless you can hit the 90% mark. And it does seem like really high and impossible, but I've seen it. They do have clearance items 90% off, even clothing. And if you can get clothing 90% off with the tags, then it's worth it. I have an item right now in my eBay store. It's a men's jacket, inspired by Justin Timberlake, something like that. Regular retail is $129, and I got it for $8. Now at first I was like, woohoo, that's like winning the lottery, that's huge. Well, just because the regular retail is $129 doesn't mean anybody's ever going to pay that. It was on sale for $80, and then they marked it down to $40, and then they kept marking it down to $8. So I thought, okay, I'll buy 2 of them and I'll put them up on eBay. Well, that was 9 months ago, and I haven't sold one yet. So it's a gamble, And having said that, when you do source items, you have to be careful as far as how much you spend. Can you afford to have that much cash in limbo? If you buy, say, a box of Dunkin' Yo-Yos for $50 and there's 50 of them in a box, that's a good deal, but it's going to take you a year to sell those. Can you afford $50 to be held up for a year in your budget? So you have to have a working budget, and you have to be very careful that you don't buy something that's going to take 2 years to sell. So something that you can afford to buy, but then you can also afford to have that money held up too until the stuff sells. So I've had stuff sell in 5 minutes. I've had stuff that takes years, so everything in between. So the next item or area that's less of a deal, but it's still fun, are estate sales and auctions. Now at these locations you're going to pay even more, but they do, like I said, with the like the flea markets, they do mark stuff down. So estate sales, I'm the guy that goes on the last day. So if an estate sale is, say, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm going to go on Saturday, and I'm going to go, 10, 11 o'clock. Everything's 50% off. They're just giving it away. Please take this, please take that. So again, if there's the original Mona Lisa, that's going to be gone on Thursday at 9 a.m. So don't think you're going to get super awesome antiques or high value items, because those are going to be sold right at the beginning if it's a 3-day estate sale. So again, I'm the guy that I call it doing the cleanup. I come in late, everything is 50% off or free, or they box things up and say, here, just take this, give me $1 for this whole box. So estate sales are the same way. And I do find good things. Now, you don't have to buy it if you don't want it. It's not a wasted trip if you go to an estate sale and you take an hour to go through it and there's nothing worth buying. That's fine. You get experience and you get out there. The other ones is auction.
Give me 12 and a half. Hey, 12 and a half, now 15, now 17, $20 bid, now 22 and a half. Now $25 bid, 25, 5, 25. Now 27 and a half, now 27 and a half, now 27 and a half.
Now, I believe I have an auction video. It's raw video. I haven't edited yet, but that'll be going up soon. I went to an auction up in Big Rapids, and let me tell you, I'm going to make a whole video on how to participate in an auction. I was there for like 8 hours. My feet were killing me. It was freezing cold outside. Auctions, you're not going to get a very good price unless you're very careful and you know what you're doing, because people will get into bidding wars and they'll start paying and paying and paying, and then you're going to pay too much. This picture right there, I got it at an auction for $1. That is a newspaper print. Looks super old. I think it's General Grant. Probably from the late 1800s, that somebody just cut out of a newspaper and framed it. It's really not worth that much. I mean, the frame alone is worth more than $1, but I just liked it and I thought it would be a great wall hanger, so I got that because nobody else bid on it. Nobody wanted it. So things will happen at auctions where they'll hold up an item and nobody will bid, and the auctioneer will say, somebody give me $1, and you raise your hand and it's yours for $1. Other times it'll be a Pyrex bowl or a cast iron skillet, and people go crazy and the bidding goes way high, and at that point you're buying it just because you want to keep it. You're not going to be able to flip it and make any money. So that's the difficult part. The most difficult area that people source from, it's called eBay sniping. And what you do here, and you might be a victim of this when you first start selling, but eBay sniping is when you go out onto eBay and you look for items that are underpriced. A person either doesn't know what they have or they just want to get rid of it, but the price is super low. So you can do a search on eBay and you can do an advanced search and change the settings to newly listed. So that means, like, say you're looking up a Zippo lighter, Harley Davidson Zippo lighter, or whatever it is you're looking for. Then you change the settings to newly listed. So some poor guy might put it up there for $5 and like, just take it, I don't want it. Well, that's going to get sniped right away. Somebody's going to buy that, and then they're going to turn around and put it back on eBay for $20, $25, depending on how old it is. So that's eBay sniping. The downside is that it requires a lot of time and a lot of experience, but it can be done. I get messages all the time. I'll have an item on my eBay store for $45. Somebody will send me a message and say, hey, will you take $10 for it? I'm like, no, I'm not going to take $10 for it, because they're just going to buy it and relist it for, $45, $50. So my feedback right now is 363, and it's 100% positive. That kind of looks low to some very experienced eBay sellers who have 100,000 feedback rating or 80,000 feedback rating. They kind of look at me as a rookie, and they will do the same to you. When you start selling and your feedback is low, you're going to start getting offers or messages saying, hey, will you take $2 for this item that you have listed for $12? Absolutely don't take those offers, because they're just trying to snipe you and resell it. But you can do the same thing. If somebody has, say, 50 Hot Wheels for $40, that's already a pretty good deal if they're old Hot Wheels. And you can send them an offer and say, hey, would you take $25 for it? They can say no, but if they say yes, that's not really sniping, but that's a great deal. 50 Hot Wheels for $25. They pay the shipping. You could turn around and list 1 or 2 or 3 at a time and probably double your money. But that's what eBay sniping is. It's probably the most difficult, time-consuming method to source anything. The best sourcing, of course, is free stuff. So it's free stuff that you already own or people give you. Garage sales, yard sales, rummage sales, thrift stores, flea markets, retail arbitrage, estate sales and auctions, and then becoming a sniper. So send me any questions you have. My email is below, or comment below if you have any questions on sourcing. If I missed a category, let me know. Maybe you know a category I didn't think of. Of course, there is online purchases where you can buy wholesale from websites. There's like bulk.com and other websites that take customer returns, and they box them up and you buy them that way. It's kind of retail arbitrage, but bulk wholesale purchases online is very difficult. It's got a steep learning curve. You have to be very careful, or you're going to get a box of junk that nobody wants. And the returns are different. Sometimes it's brand new returns, or it's open package, or it's unknown, or it's a defective return. Not really sure why you would try to sell that, but you could. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Comment below, give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you next time.